Hey everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today, with violence on the rise, I just think it's important that we take a look at our home defense systems and what we have in place. So, if you look at the news, violence is just out of control. Crime, violence, all of it. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And a lot of times, and I live way out in the sticks in the country, and I look at what goes on in the city and I'm like, oh my God, how do people deal with that? But in reality, in recent months and weeks, we have seen more and more crime coming to our areas and way out in the sticks. I personally have not had any trouble myself, but I have seen in other towns that are not that far from me, they have a rash of break-ins in cars, garages. They're looking for money, credit cards, guns, whatever they can find. So I think it's really important as all of this craziness just continues. So I think it's important that we look at what we have for home self-defense and to keep our families safe. And most of us have worked and we have a food storage or whatever. And people, if I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm noticing the lines at the food banks are getting longer. More people than ever before are needing help because with the inflation and everything else, it's just everything is so expensive and people are getting desperate. So more people are going to the food bank, more people are stealing food. Crazy things are happening in our society, and we really need to be prepared to protect the ones that we love and everything that we've worked hard for. So first off, I want to say, as far as your food stockpile goes and stuff like that, I don't think you should have it all in one place. If you can have it separated in different places, I think you should. If someone breaks in and gets to your stockpile, you could lose everything all at once. And you have worked for months, possibly years for this stuff. So I think it's important if you can have it separated, that is a great way to go. There are a bunch of different ways that you can hide it, put it in different places, split it up in different rooms, whatever you can do, have some at a different location. If you've got a bug out location, that's a great place to keep some of your food and long-term storage items and things like that. Don't keep it all in one place if you can help it. I know some people have no choice. They don't have any other place to put it. But if you can split it up, that's the best way to go for sure. But as far as looking at our defense mechanisms that we have in place for our homes, and we want to be able to keep everybody safe in our home. We want to keep the cats and dogs safe, the kids safe, the husband, wife, whatever you have, grandma, Aunt Mabel, you want to keep everybody safe. And the first thing that a lot of people think of when they think home security, they think of getting a gun, and yes, I think everyone, every honest citizen should have one and have the ability to protect themselves. A knife, gun, bat, whatever you choose. It's a personal choice thing. But I think it's important to look at different layers that we can add into our home defense to deter people from coming to the house. If you've got a fence out by the road, that's a deterrent. People are looking for soft, easy targets, somewhere where they can just come in, take what they want, do what they feel like, and walk out with no trouble. That's what they're looking for. The harder you make it for them, the less likely they're going to come in. Of course, you always got those lunatics that don't care. They're going to come in anyway. They are ready for a fight. They don't care. They don't care how it ends. There are always those ones. But someone that is looking for some extra food for their family or something like that, they're looking for a soft target. They really are. And, that's why you see a lot of shootings and, places where guns aren't allowed to be. So people, that's just the way they are. They don't want to be shot back at. And they want to go in, do it, and think they can get away with it. But when we look at our homes, the first thing I think we can do is, if you can put up fencing, I think fencing is a great way to go. Some sort of fence. Doesn't have to be a 10-foot stockade fence or anything like that. Just some sort of fence to deter people from coming in. And as they come in, I think we look at this, as we get closer, if we go from the fence and then, move inward, if you've got bushes that are unruly and you can't see by them and they're easy to hide behind, that's an easy way for them to get closer and closer to the house without you noticing. So you want to be able to notice as they get closer to your home. It's one of those things. If you notice them out by the road before they hit the fence or coming over the fence, you've got time to prepare, to do what you got to do. And so fencing, and then making sure that there's no good places to hide. And these are basically some places it's really hard for someone to get in, where you have easy access coming in. Those are the spots that they're going to look for, and they're going to try to get to your home in those easy spots because they want this to be as easy as possible. And another thing that I think that you could do, I know they're not legal everywhere, but tripwires, they're not going to get hurt from them or anything, but having a gun go off, the sound of a gun in their ear right near them, it's very loud. A lot of times it will scare them off, or it will alert you and your animals. If you have animals, it will alert them and they will alert you. So it just, all this stuff kind of gives you more time to prepare if they make it to the house, if they decide that it's worth coming into. And, and as we get even closer, I think security cameras are another thing. Security cameras can be wonderful. I don't like the like ring stuff and all that. It's all cloud and you have to pay for services and all that kind of stuff. But they do have security systems that you can set up hardwired in your home. They don't take much voltage, so you could run them off a small solar generator. If the grid is down, they still will work. They're really pretty low in wattage, what they take. And everything is hardwired, so you've still got access to it. And you can view it on a monitor in your home. And that is a great way to go. That's personally what we use. We have a Lorex, a 1080p. It has really good night vision. And that, a lot of times, if someone's going to break in, they want to do it under the cover of darkness. They don't want to come in broad daylight. They're hoping you're not there or sleeping and you won't notice them. And I'm pretty sure I would notice if someone was coming in the house, but some people are very heavy sleepers. So having that security system is very helpful. Also, another thing that a lot of people do is get a dog. Dogs are a huge deterrent. People are afraid to get bitten by dogs, especially big dogs. Even small dogs, the ankle biters, those hurt too. They definitely do. So I think, looking at all these different layers, and if you're not able to have a dog, because I know not everybody can have a dog, they can't afford the care for it or whatever it is, why you can't have it. Maybe your landlords won't let you. But I've known people that don't have dogs that put up a beware of dog sign. They just put that up, and everybody that comes there looks around for the dog. They're all like, where's the dog? Because they're worried about it, but there actually wasn't even a dog there. It was just a deterrent to keep people away. And it works. People don't want to mess with it. They're like, ugh, fence, cameras, dogs, dear Lord, this is going to be hard. They want this to be easy. They really want to, slip into your house, take what they want, and leave. That's what most criminals want. They don't want to be shot at or anything like that. So I think that, as we're looking at these different layers as we get closer, if you've don't have the dog, you do have the dog, whatever. And then we get to, you know, the actual house. You want to make sure that you have good locks. Maybe some, even the battery operated, like Dollar Tree alarms. Those stinking things are so loud, and they can alert you. If you have a dog and someone's outside, that's going to alert you. Even if the dog isn't mean and it doesn't bite, you know, it's not going to bite anybody. It may be just the biggest, friendliest dog ever, but it's going to alert you that someone's out there. Just like your door alarms, you know, if when that seal breaks, the magnet comes apart, it's going to alert you. And your locks, not necessarily are your locks going to keep people out, because they can be broken too. You know, they can shoot the hinges off the flipping door on the other side. If you've got a ton of locks on one side, they can go at the other side. So after all of this stuff, I mean, we're layer on layer on layer. And, you know, if they get into the home, having protection, I think, is super important. I personally, you know, I think everyone should have a gun that is, all these honest, good citizens should have guns. All the criminals have them. So we might as well have them to protect ourselves. And I think that is super important. And if you're not, you don't feel safe with a gun or something like that, you have a knife, a baseball bat, you know, whatever, a katana sword. I don't know. Everybody's got a different idea of what is going to work for them. But having that handy is also a good idea. If you have your knife collection or gun collection locked up in a safe, everything is unloaded down in the basement, nobody can get to it. If they break into the kitchen, it's useless. You're not going to get to it in time. You know, you may, if you have the security cameras and the fencing and the dog and the locks and the everything, if you've got all of that stuff, you might be able to get there quick enough if you catch them coming at the fence. But a lot of times you might not have that much notice. You know, having a gun on your hip, a lot of people will recommend you carry it with you every minute of every day. You have to be careful if you have children in your home. I know people that have guns in every stinking room in the house, and because that's what works for them and that's what makes them happy. But they don't have kids in the house. They've got loaded guns everywhere, and that's okay. Guns don't do anything. People do. And so as long as, you know, you don't have kids in the house, that's an option. But if you have children in your home, obviously you don't want guns laying around the house, anything like that. I do carrying one on your hip. You've got it with you no matter what room you're in. You're ready to go. You know, don't keep one in the chamber. I don't think that's a good idea. But being prepared in your home all the time. A lot of times you could be out in the garden and someone could just come up behind you from the woods, from the back alley, whatever. If you don't have that gun with you, it is no good to you. So I think that is really important as well. And a belly band is pretty comfortable. They're a little hot, but you get used to them over time. And or just a small holster if you wear jeans all the time. Belly bands are great because you can wear it with shorts, skirts, anything you want to wear it with, yoga pants. It works. But there are different, I thought today we would just talk about a few different things that we can do to add layers of protection to our homes, because with crime getting worse and worse and more violence out there, I think it's important that we just take a little bit and go through, what do we have in place? What could we put in place? You know, and for $5, you can get a beware of dog sign, which may not be the end all be all, but it could help. And you do what you got to do. That is exactly how I look at it. Do what you got to do. And to protect you and your family and the stuff that you've worked for to protect your family. So that is it for today. If you have other ideas that you think would be great for people to consider to help protect their homes, please leave them in the comments down below. It is really helpful. The comments section can be a treasure trove of good information. Everybody has different ideas and do different things. These are things that we do, and so I thought I would share them just to help people that may not have thought of something. You just never know. And that is it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.